like I've heard that before. That's right. It's the HOTWGDGI theme song. Yes, you're it. Help on the Way, Grateful Dead guitar instruction. I'm Joel Martin. Thank you so much for tuning in, you happy heads and headettes. It's thrilled to play music for you and around you, with you, the whole deal. I thought here at the 5th episode, I would walk through the lick I've been using as the theme song. The wonderful lick from It Must Have Been the Roses. This is a remarkable song because it is actually the only, one of two, the only song that the Grateful Dead played that was a Robert Hunter composition through and through. He wrote the music and the words, and he actually recorded it first for his album Tales of the Great Rum Runners, and Jerry recorded it in 1976 for his third record, third solo record called Reflections. That's an interesting story because he had started recording with the Jerry Garcia band at the time, which was the Ron Tutt on the drums, great drummer that played with Elvis, Jerry Kahn on bass, his main guy, and then a couple different pianists, Nicky Hopkins, the great English session musician, and Larry Kitchnell, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the great legend that was in the Wrecking Crew in LA on so many great famous songs. And for some reason, he stopped the whole deal and ended up getting the Grateful Dead to come in and finish the record. So about 4 songs on his album Reflections are actually the Grateful Dead playing the songs. And It Must Have Been the Roses is one of those. When Robert Hunter recorded it, he did it as a fast kind of a hoedown. There's some great banjo. It's not Jerry. The wonderful Buddy Cage is playing pedal steel, a very lyrical, beautiful part. And that's a fun record too because it's pretty Dead heavy. Jerry is on it. He plays guitar on a song. Mickey Hart's on it. Keith is on it. Highly recommendable. It's very fun. His version of this is great. But then when the Dead did it, when it went through the Jerry filter, he slowed it down and made it the beautiful country gypsy ballad that it is. And it went through a lot of changes. In fact, I really love the intro that's on the Jerry record. But when the Dead started to play it in 74, early 74, he had a very simple, totally cowboy intro. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Something like that. So it wasn't until they cooked it up in 76 and I think in 75 they did it at the Great American Music Hall and he had introduced that concept. So I love that version. And then when they did it for Reckoning and the 80s acoustic shows and stuff, it was back to the cowboy intro, which was, you know, kind of interesting that he went back to that because he'd already achieved perfection, I'd have to say. An interesting aside is that, you know, it took me a long time to get on the bus. I went through my whole life listening to tons of different music, you know, country, bluegrass, blues, psychedelic rock, prog rock. I feel like I had to go through and learn all of those styles before I was ready to accept the Grateful Dead on their terms and realize the genius that was Jerry, because his playing synthesizes all of those styles magically. And so this is a really beautiful example of, you know, him playing on sort of a country ballad, but his electric guitar approach is almost a Django Reinhardt thing. You know, this intro has an incredible Gypsie-jazz vibe to it, so it's really neat. So let's get into it a little. The song is in A, key of A. Obeys all the laws of A major and the A major scale until you pop into the chorus and, you know, long brown hair, and it does that G, and that's a nice little chromatic thing that happens. But the rest of the song is all in A. The intro is over an A chord, and it's an arpeggio of an A chord, meaning it's the notes picked out separately. And from a guitar point of view, in one of the earlier lessons, we talked about the caged system, which as a guitarist, you might be familiar with this already. But it's basically a way to connect the dots on your instrument using shapes. You know, for instance, we all learned to play guitar when we started probably through open chords. So you learn the open E and the open A and the open C. And if you take, if you bar those, or, you know, like here's an open E, but if you move it here and put a bar on it, well, now you have an F, and you can move this all over the fretboard, and whatever you're playing on the 6th string is your root. So anyway, how that relates to this is this A, this is an A chord here on the 9th, 10th, and 9th fret, and that's a D shape, like an open D chord, but you're playing it up here, so it's an A. And Jerry starts the arpeggio on C sharp, which is the 3rd of A, then plays an E, which is the 5th of A on the 9th fret, 3rd string, then plays an A, the root, on the 10th fret, 2nd string, then plays a C sharp again on the 1st string, 9th fret. So you have 2 C sharps there, some nice note repetition. And then his target is an F sharp, that's what you'll hear, but he puts a little flavor on it and does a little bend, and he might actually do a full step bend, but I like the half step bend. So it's, and then his next target note is an E, but to hit it he goes down and hits a leading tone to get into it. He hits the E flat, and then so it's, then he is going down to D, but he hits the leading tone on the way. So you have that E flat and then D. So that's, and then the target note is going to be a C sharp, but he bends into it. So it's B on the 12th fret, 2nd string, bends up to that C sharp, holds it a little bit, milks it, and then comes down and releases it to a G sharp on the 9th fret of the 2nd string, and then the A on the 10th fret. So, and then he ends the whole thing going down to the 6th, the F sharp that's on the 2nd string, 7th fret, and then going to the 3rd, the C sharp, the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then the E on the 5th fret, 2nd string, and then a B on the 4th fret, 3rd string, and then sliding into C sharp. I would also, you know, it'd be a Jerry thing to do, which he probably did later, is to do those as, and instead of hitting that C sharp, hitting a D sharp and into the E, like, and then a C into the C sharp. Yeah. That's pretty. That's kind of what I changed it to. I'm, you know, like I was saying, he recorded this style of intro for Reflections, and then when the Dead were playing it in that era, he would try different things all the time. So I came to like to play the way that I play for the theme. I put in, and then I release it down to B, and then go back to B, and then hit the A. And then I think the way I play the intro is, I do something like that on the intro. You have to use your ears. But anyway, that is It Must Have Been the Roses. I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to keep this going until August 1st. I've gotten so many great ideas for songs from all you folks out there, and I might be solid on what I'm going to do for the rest of this run. But please connect with me in the comments or email me at iPlayPedalSteel. Also, if you want to work on some more advanced concepts like modes or scale construction and chord construction, email me and we can do you know, like a Zoom lesson or in person if you're here in Los Angeles. And Yeah, I really appreciate all the great support and feedback that I've gotten. So thank you so much, and keep the songs coming though too, because if I see one that I'm like, wow, oh, I have to do that, then we'll go ahead and do that. So anyway, take care, guys. Stay grateful. Love is real. Bye bye.